So a very good evening to one and all. Myself Aditya Jain, and today I'm going to speak about the strategy that one should follow for attempting the programming and data structures subject in the GATE paper. Okay. So yeah, let's get started. Is my screen visible? Okay. Thanks for confirming. So at any point of time, if you have any query, you can just unmute yourself and let me know, or just write it down in the chat section. So I'll answer them for you. Okay. So yeah, let's get started. Okay. So I believe that any entrance exam, not just GATE, any entrance exam is based on lots of factors, among which one of the major factor is planning or scheduling. Okay. So this is the quote that I myself believe a lot in, which is failing to plan is planning to fail. So it means that if you are failing to plan, like if you're not able or if you're unable to plan your schedule or make a timetable or make a routine, then somewhat what you are doing is you are planning to fail. Because as you might have heard that it's not just about studies and just remembering things, but it's about consistency, right? So in any field, if you can see, if a batsman scores 100 in one match and consistently 0 in 10 match, so we do not take that factors into consideration, right? What we want is a consistent effort and consistent performance. So that's what is the most important when it comes to cracking the GATE exam or any other entrance exam. So that's why just remember that failing to plan is same as planning to fail. Okay, so this is why planning is very important, and with the help of this session, we'll understand how to plan and how to make a schedule for the programming and data structure subject. Okay, so yeah, is it clear? Means is the voice clear? Okay, great. Thank you. So yeah, let's continue. So these are some of the topics that I'm going to cover, which is why should you listen to me, approach towards the subject, resources for the subject, list of various topics, types of problems asked in this particular topic and particular subject, number of problems that you need to solve, various strategies to attempt this subject, and finally how to attempt the in the actual GATE exam. So as I have gone through each and every stage of this, I will be a better person to help you understand what you should do. Okay, because I believe that understanding and planning your schedule is equally important as studying a particular subject. Okay, so let's first understand why should you listen to me. Okay, so these are the various things that I would like to mention. So I have been a Google DSC college representative during my bachelor's, and at the end of 4 years, I have scored a GPA of 9.01 during my BTech, which was in computer science. My current GPA is of 9.14, which is the MTech GPA. And I was also one among the two students to get a 6 months internship at Amazon during my bachelor's, which is in the which is in the seventh semester of my BTech. And I got placed at Barclays on day one during my bachelor's. But yeah, that was a different story, which I'm going to explain you. So, but all of these are not that important from what I can help you with, right? So for you, how I can be helpful is because of this. So along with all those activities during my bachelor's, I gave GATE exam in my final year and I secured an all India rank of 60 in my GATE exam. And that was my first attempt, because at that time GATE, you can only attempt GATE in your final year. Means at least when you are in final year, then you can attempt it many times. Okay, so this is the most important factor which I want to help you understand, like how I manage all of these activities along with getting good company during my placements, along with a great rank in GATE exam. Okay, so these are the factors that today's conversation will revolve around, and the subject that we are talking about would be programming and data structures. So yeah, so someone of you can just mention that is it okay or not, like the video and audio, everything good, like the screen is getting shared. Okay, great. Yeah, so let's continue. So first of all, the important point that I mentioned all of this is you will see one thing in common among getting placed in a good company and getting a good rank in GATE exam, and that's it, and that is performing great and being good at programming and data structures. Okay, so very few people are aware of this concept, that data structures doesn't only help you while preparing for the GATE exam, but it is equally important from the placements point of view as well. Be it BTech or be it during your MTech, that is when you have appeared for GATE and when you have joined certain colleges and then you are preparing for the placement. Then also data structures and programming will be of great help to you. Believe me, I have gone through each of the series of placements and everything, and now I can tell you that this is one of the most important subject that you should be focusing on. Not just point of the GATE and not just from the point of view of getting placed, but as a computer science student in general. Okay, so let's understand. So this is the toppers mentality. So let's see how many of you can answer this. So suppose, okay. So first of all, I like to mention that in that when I attempted GATE in my final year, I secured means I attempted all the questions in programming and data structures, and I did only one incorrect, which was of 1 mark. Okay, rest questions I solved correctly and got full marks in them. So this is my question to you. Suppose this came for 20 marks in the actual GATE exam, and I made one mark question incorrect. Okay, that is minus of 0.33 marks. So how many marks I have lost when I have solved this incorrectly, this 1 mark question incorrectly? Can anyone tell? Can any one of you tell me in the chat section? Just have a look at this question that I'm proposing you to answer. 1.33 exactly. So this is how you should be thinking. Lots of people have this perception that when you make a certain question incorrect, you have just lost 0.33 marks, and that's not a big deal. But what you should understand is from the topper's mentality. Suppose you make one answer incorrect, it's not just that you have lost the negative marks, but you have also lost the marks that you have made while making it correctly, right? And that's the most important thing. So from 20, I have not just lost 0.33 marks, but 1.33 marks, right? And that makes a huge difference. So just to tell you, so that you can relate how much these marks matters is, so my all India rank was 60, as I mentioned, and my marks were 77.33, right? And there's a person who got 78 marks, right? 78 marks, and his all India rank was around 40. Okay, so that's the major difference that these marks cost you. Okay, so this is just 60 and 40, not a big difference, you can get the same college. But what if it is 198 or 190? Then it can make a huge difference of shifting you from IIT Bombay to some other IITs or some other NITs as well. So I have not mentioned here because I wanted to explain you this thing. So currently I'm pursuing my masters in computer science from IIT Bombay, and yeah, so this has been my journey, like BTech, MTech, each and everything. Then I appeared for GATE. Then during my internship, GATE results were announced, and then I decided to pursue higher studies as I was getting the college of my choice, which was IIT Bombay. So this is the entire journey that I have gone through, and that's why I'm sharing my experience with you pertaining to the programming and data structures topic. Okay, so that's why I believe that this is one of the most important topic that one should be thorough with or one should be good at. Okay, so yeah, you have answered this correctly. I've lost 1.33 marks, and as you can see, 1.33 marks can cost you lots of sleepless nights, right? Because if your rank should have been 80, it would give you 120 rank, and that's a huge difference. So this is how you should always. This is what you should always keep in mind, that just attempting a question is not sufficient. You need to attempt it correctly. Okay, and that what's you get from practicing and making a proper schedule or planning. Okay, so yeah, so let's come to the approach towards the subject. So as we are talking about programming and data structures, or in general any subject, division of subject can be made on two bases, based on weightage and based on personal strength. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is, either you can if you pick a particular subject, either you can weight or either you can plan it on the basis of the weightage and on the basis of the personal strength. So personal strength refers to there are 10 topics in a particular subject, and you are comfortable with five of them, and you are not comfortable with the remaining five. But what if the topics that you are not comfortable with are very highly weighted in GATE exam? So you can't make an excuse, right? They will not ask you whether you were comfortable with that subject or not. All you need to care about is, are you getting the marks in that particular subject or not? It doesn't matter whether it is easier for you or it is tough for you. You need to make sure that you score the maximum marks and get the college of your choice. And that's why planning is very important. You should not always prefer the personal strength based subject, but you should also focus on the weightage and the importance that the GATE exam gives to a particular subject. Okay. So yeah, based on weightage, I have written tentative in the bracket because you cannot decide the weightage of a particular subject before attempting the GATE exam. I can tell you various strategies that, yeah, this is mostly asked on the basis of the previous questions. But what if someone asks you a different question, which was belonging to the least weightage topic, but it came in that particular exam, right? So this is how I'm asking you to think from the topper's point of view. Like if you are aiming to get under 100 rank or something like that, you can't just miss on any topic. Each and every topic should be of equal importance to you. Why? Because suppose you have marked a particular subject, a particular topic into the least category, but what if the 2 mark questions came from that topic only? Then you can't write in the options that, yeah, this was the least weightage topic, and but you are asking it for 2 marks. No, nothing can happen except for attempting that and scoring the good marks. Okay, so this is how you should always this is what you should always keep in mind, that you can always prepare something on the basis of the weightage and you can prepare a strategy, but you should be aware that if you are aiming for a great rank, you should give equal importance to each and every topic, and not just each and every topic, but each and every type of questions. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss. Then you can always sort the topics on the basis of the personal strength, like something that are improvable, like you are not that much good at it, but if you give it time, you can definitely improve upon them. And second, on the improved ones, that you are already good at these topics, so then there's no point again and again revising those topics only, leaving the ones that you are not comfortable with behind, right? You should give equal importance to each and every topic. That's what I'm trying to explain you. So why I'm so much confident about what I'm telling? Because as you know that I am pursuing my masters from IIT Bombay, and at IIT Bombay there are people ranging from All India rank 2 to All India rank to All India rank 80, I guess. So each and every person that I sit in my class with, they have gone through each and every aspect of this exam, right? They have been a beginner in this exam, and they have scored a 2-digit rank in this as well. So that's why I have observed them, and I know that, yeah, what's their mentality is, and what my mentality has been while preparing for GATE. So that's why I'm sharing this with so much confidence with you, so that you do not make the mistake that most of the people make, which is just focusing on some topics and leaving the other topics behind. Okay, so yeah, now coming to the actual subject, which is programming and data structure. So from now on, whatever we are going to discuss would be specific to this subject. Okay, the types of questions asked, the importance that should be given to the topics, and so on. So always keep in mind that you need to make a strategy as per the subject that you are studying. So there is no universal strategy. Okay, one strategy that might work for a particular subject might not work in another subject. Okay, so as you know, GATE is an exam which consists of variety of subjects. There might be subjects that you are good at, there might be subjects that you are not good at. So you need to make a schedule or a planning for subject basis, not just a universal strategy. Universal strategy can be made as a goal, like this much you need to cover within a month or within a week, but having a separate strategy that works for each and individual subject should be made. Okay, so for example, you can just relate. It's not important that each and everyone should follow, but programming and data structures is logical based subject, that there's some logic involved when you are studying it. But let's come to the other subject, which is like for example, computer networks. So in computer networks, certain things are fixed, like IPv4 header size and all those things. So you cannot just keep means you cannot just implement the same strategy there. Are you getting it? Like if you have made something for a logical subject, you cannot implement it as directly as into the learning based subject. So this is what I'm trying to explain you, that for each and every topic and each and every subject, you should have a proper schedule or a proper plan. Like when you are comfortable studying it, what should be the target for this month? Each and everything should be each and everything should be subject wise. Okay, so then only you will get good marks in the actual gate exam, because gate exam won't ask you, are you good at operating system? Should I ask you major portion from operating system? No, right? All they care about is getting the overall good marks. Okay, so getting 2 marks in operating system and 0 in programming doesn't make sense. What you should make sure is you get maximum marks in the actual gate exam, which can come from each and every subject. Okay, so having this preconceived notion of, yeah, I am good at operating system and score 100% in that, so let's leave programming data structures behind, that doesn't work if you are planning to get a good rank. Okay, otherwise I can just tell you, on the basis of your luck you can get 40% marks and you will definitely get a college. But if you're planning to get a very great rank, which I have always thought about, like I have never compromised with any topic. Okay, so that's why I am trying to explain you what your mentality should be, because I know that I have also been a student, right? So I know that, yeah, sometimes you just don't like studying a particular subject and you are good at another subject and you just keep studying that, and that only. But what if you score 100% marks in that subject but the remaining subjects are left behind? Okay, so that won't help. So this is what I'm trying to explain you, that always focus on each and every subject and each and every topic, no matter what you are good at, but you should be able to attempt each and every type of question that is asked in the gate exam. Okay, so now comes to the resources. So selection of resources for the subject. So I have also been a student, right? So I know that, yeah, there are multiple types of resources available, lots of resources, lots of question banks, and each and everything is there, and it might be difficult for a person to understand, yeah, what should one focus on and what is not that important. Okay, so believe me, many people will have many different perceptions. So let's take example of my batch at IIT Bombay. So as I mentioned that they all have scored great ranks, but some have referred to NPTEL lectures, some have referred to their handwritten notes, some have referred to reference books, and each and every one of them have got a good rank. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain you is, you should pick one resource and just stick to it, and prepare from it thoroughly, rather than studying a bit from here, studying a bit from that. That doesn't help. Why? Because it might happen that you have skipped one subject, skipped one topic from each and every resources. Okay, so that should not happen. You should have a primary resource like your handwritten notes at Vidyalankar or anything like that, means whatever you are comfortable with. So Vidyalankar provides you with the perfect material, right? So you can keep it as a primary resource, and then you can refer to other open source available or reference textbooks for some particular subjects that you are not comfortable with, that you don't think that you have got from the lectures, right? So in that case you can refer to that particular topic from some other book. But it should not mean that you are planning that I'll cover each and every topic from reference book and each and every topic from other lecture notes and Vidyalankar notes. That I personally believe that that's not possible, because you have a very limited time and you should focus on getting the maximum out of it, rather than just being a breadth first search, right? You might know that there's a breadth first and there's a depth first, right? So depth first won't help you, like you are going into breadth first, like just keeping the breadth at every topic won't help you, but going into depth of every topic will definitely help you. Okay, so this is what you should focus on. So ultimately you should just have a one primary source of notes that you should refer to, and then in case of some particular topics you should refer to some other notes. That's not a problem. Okay, so list of reference books. So these two reference books I came across when I used to prepare as well, but I didn't refer to them much because of the shortage of time. I just used to refer to my own notes, self-made handwritten notes, and that used to be of great help to me. So but these two books, which are the C Programming Language Edition 2 by Brian and Dennis Ritchie, and second is Classic Data Structures, which is again edition 2 by Debasis Samantha. Okay, so these two reference books, I believe, that are of great help. But again, believe me, you will not get a lot of time to go through each and every page of these books. What you should do is you should refer to your Vidyalankar notes or notes that you are preparing, and then for selective topics that you haven't understood, you should refer to these books or any other open source material. Okay, yeah. Now let's come to the overview of the subject. So first of all, make a list of topics. Now there are various topics in each and every subject. Okay, whatever you pick. If you pick OS, there are lots of topics within that. If you pick programming data structures, there is a lot. There's a list of topics within it. So what are the types of topics? Some are important topics. Now you should understand that the word important is very relative. Like on the basis of 2020 paper, there will be certain type of topics that are important. On the basis of 2019 paper, some different set of problems might be important or topics might be important. On the basis of 2015 paper, some other topics might be important. So this is just a reference point. Like you can decide which topics are important on the basis of the past 10 to 15 years question papers, not just 5 years or just 2 years. Okay, because that won't give you a cumulative analysis. What you should be focusing on is a 10 to 15 years of gap, and even then I would definitely recommend you to believe that each and every topic is equally important, because gate exam will not ask you whether you are good at this topic or not. All they care about is, can you solve the question that they have given in the gate exam? Okay, if you can solve it, that's good. If you cannot solve it, you are losing that marks. As simple as that. They won't ask you, are you good at topic? Oh, you're not good at this topic, so we'll not give you question from this topic, right? This doesn't happen. And there are skippable topics, okay, based on previous year questions and analysis. But as you know that I've already explained you that there's nothing called as skippable topics. There are some out of syllabus kind of topics which you can definitely neglect, but there is nothing called skippable topics from my point of view. I've just written this point so that you can relate that, yeah, sometimes you think that I can skip these topics and so on. So that's why I mentioned here. But I don't believe that there is any topic that should be skipped. Okay. So not recommended for getting a great line unless you believe in luck. Okay. So if you believe in luck, then I would definitely recommend you to, yeah, if you're lucky, then you can leave certain amounts of topic, and gate exam will never ask those questions. Okay. But if you are aiming for a great rank, each and every topic should be equally important, and you should give equal importance to each and every topic. Okay. So for toppers, each and every topic is equally important, as during admission, no one asks you which subject you scored well in, right? So they'll not ask you, oh, you were not good at this subject, so we'll not take this subject into consideration. We'll consider other marks and we'll give you admission on that basis. No, that doesn't happen. Okay. So always keep these things in mind. This is very important. Like lots of people ask me, what are the important topics? If I do this only, will that be helpful? If I skip these topics, will that be helpful? What if I tell yes, but then gate ask from those topics? Then what will I do, right? I will not be able to help you get admission, right? All you need to focus is your preparation, and make sure that you focus on each and every topic thoroughly. Okay. Yeah. So major topics in programming and data structures. So let's come to the this particular subject. So there is programming in C, which is a very vast topic. Again, I've just written the simple programming in C. There are recursion based topics. So there are types of recursions like head recursion, tail recursion, then nested recursion, one recursion calling another recursion, and that recursion itself is calling this recursion. So there are various types of recursions: arrays, stacks, queues, linked lists, trees, binary search trees, binary heaps, and graphs. Okay, so these are the major topics that I believe that one should be thorough with, which consists of programming and data structures as a whole. Okay, so yeah, let's in between have a check whether the screen and everything is visible or not. So am I audible and the screen is visible? Any one of you can confirm? Okay, great. Thanks for confirming. So so have you got what I've told so far? Like, are you trying to means are you able to understand what I'm trying to convey, or it's just that I am speaking at my own pace? Is the pace okay? Like, or shall I speed it down or something like that? Whatever you are comfortable with. If you have any specific query, you can ask, like pertaining to the speed or anything. Okay, great. So yeah, let's continue. Okay. So now let's understand each and every like the strategy to attempt each and every type of question. So once again, this comes with the terms and conditions, like the star option, that when I am mentioning some strategy, that is something that I have used, right? It doesn't mean that you will also feel comfortable with that strategy, and you should use that strategy. I'm not forcing you to use that strategy. What I'm trying to tell you is you should have your own strategy and stick to it. Some might believe that solving questions in this manner is way much helpful for them. Some may think, no, this doesn't work for me. This is the way that I will solve it. So whatever your strategy is, you should practice using that strategy only, and then get better and better with that strategy. Okay. So what I'm telling you, whatever I will tell you after this is something that I believe is very much helpful in general. You can try that out. If you don't think that it is helping you, you can just make a strategy of your own and you can use that. Okay, or you can practice that. So yeah, let's come to the recursion type of questions. Okay, so recursion, as I mentioned, there are various types of recursion based problems. Some are head recursion, some are tail recursion, and so on. So what I'm going to discuss here is in general how one should attempt a recursion based problem. Okay, so in GATE exam, if you face that a recursion code is given, that Fibonacci code, for example, what is Fibonacci of 10, suppose they ask. So how you will attempt this question. And recursion based problems are very easy to understand. They will give you a certain code which is making a recursive call, and they will ask what is the value of function of 10, and you need to just put 10 value and make a function call and get to the particular answer. Okay, so that's what I believe this strategy will definitely help you. So first of all, always try to make the recursion stack of tree or tree. Okay, so all of you know that recursion makes use of a stack memory, that one calls another call and the previous call is pending, again another call and previous calls are pending, and so on. And once the final call is done, they return this value and again they return this value, and so on until the recursion stack is empty. So this is how a recursion problem works in general. No matter if it is tail recursion, head recursion, nested recursion, doesn't matter. It will always make use of a stack and consecutive calls. Okay, so this is what I'm calling a tree. What is a tree? A tree is just a structure, tree of function calls, right? I refer to referring a tree as tree of function calls, like function of, like if you take Fibonacci, right? Fibonacci of n calls Fibonacci of n minus 1 plus Fibonacci of n minus 2, right? So this is what I'm talking about, a tree, that you need to make certain calls in a certain hierarchy, and once this call is returned, then this particular problem will be getting solved, and this will return the value up to the function call, and so on and so forth, the problem will be getting solved. So always, like, this is what I believe, and this has worked for me. As I mentioned that I scored each and every question correctly except for one mark question, right? So this is the strategy that I have referred to. Always make use of a pen and paper, as high chances of making mistakes in the order of function calls. So if you're thinking this way, yeah, this will call this function of 5, so this is something pending in your memory. Then there's a function of 4, this is also pending in your memory, and then you will make a certain kind of a mistake, which you believe that you haven't made, but yeah, that would be a great mistake. Why? Because you are not sure whether this call should be executed first or this call, or what was the value returned by that function call. So always make a very clean and simple recursion stack or a recursion tree while solving while solving these questions in the actual GATE exam as well. And by meaning to solve this in actual GATE exam, you should start practicing this type from day itself. From today itself, you should be able to implement this strategy and try solving this way, so that by the time GATE exam comes, you are very comfortable with this strategy and you will need a very less amount of time. Lots of people don't write on paper because they think that it will waste a lot of time for them, right? But does it really mean that wasting time is different from wasting marks? I don't believe so, because marks are the most important things. Like, scoring great marks is the first priority, then you should manage your time accordingly, rather than you should keep that, no, I'll not waste time, and that's why I'll not this question. This doesn't happen, right? So again, always solve such that you can confirm your answer by just looking at the solution that you wrote for the first time. So make a proper recursion tree. Okay, so this is a very important point, and let me explain you why I have written this. So many a time what will happen is you will forget something in between, like you will not remember what call were you on, like were you calling Fibonacci of 5 or Fibonacci of 4, what particular thing you were solving for, right? But what will happen, once you have written it down, you can always trace back to your actual problem, and then you can continue from there. rather than again solving it from scratch. Okay, so this is why I have mentioned this point. Again, let's consider a different scenario. What if you are solving, what if you are attempting this in GATE exam, but in between that you think of some other question that you have got the answer for, and you leave this in between and then go to that question and attempt it, and then you come back. Okay, so in that case you should be in such a position that you can continue from that step rather than just solving those 5 iterations once again, because it will only waste your time, because you have confidently solved 5 iterations, but again you are starting from scratch, and this should not happen. And this is only possible, according to me, when you have written it on a paper and you have made a proper recursion stack or recursion tree calling, right? So that you know, yeah, I was in this call and this is pending, so I'll continue from here and then I can solve the complete question. Okay, so this is very important while solving the recursion based problems. Now, preferable ordering of various other topics that I believe should be followed. So as simple as this, arrays is something that gives you the basics of data structure in general. So you should always start with this topic. And believe me, arrays, strings, all these topics are very like they have very limited concepts involved. Means there are very limited concept that array stores in consecutive manner, consecutive memory locations, and you can access the data members, access the data elements with using index. And arrays indexing starts from 0, so array of 0 refers to the first element, array of 1 refers to the second element, and so on. Apart from this, means there are some small concepts, but apart from this you just need to implement this logic. So whenever they ask you if this particular location is this, what will be the location of the 10th element, so all these questions are just implementation of the concept of array. Okay, you don't have to remember the each and every concept of arrays. There are very limited concepts, but their implementation is huge. Okay, and that's what you need to understand while learning this particular subject, which is programming and data structures. You need to remember, believe me, you need to remember very less amount of this subject, but when it comes to application, just using those limited concepts you can implement each and every question. So again, let's talk about linked list. How is a linked list different from array? You can just store the elements in non-contiguous locations. Like if you have a certain memory here, certain memory there, you can just create a link and you can utilize these two memory locations, which is not possible in case of arrays. But just on the basis of that, you can relate each and every concept. I'm not telling you that it is this simple. I know, I have studied all these concepts, but what I'm trying to explain you, there are very limited concepts, very limited concepts, but when you think upon it, it can come in a huge variety of questions. Okay, and that's what you should be prepared with while learning this subject. Don't learn it like, don't remember that, yeah, array indexing starts from 0, so yeah, this is array of 1, array of 2. No, just understand this subject, which is programming and data structures. It is one of the simplest subject if you focus on understanding and learning the concepts. But if you try to learn this, then it might be of a huge problem to you. Why? Because then you will have to remember Fibonacci of 10. Okay, what is Fibonacci of 10? You will start remembering that. No, that is not needed. All you should remember is Fibonacci of n equals to Fibonacci of n minus 1 plus Fibonacci of n minus 2. As simple as that. Then if I give you Fibonacci of 10, you will definitely calculate it. If I give you Fibonacci of 5, you will also definitely calculate that. Okay, so this is just a simple example to explain you what your mindset should be while starting with a particular subject. Okay, yeah. So yeah, first focus on arrays, then come to stacks, queues, and linked lists. So these three topics like belong to a certain frame. So these are called like linear based linear data structures, right? Then comes tree, binary search tree, binary heaps, and finally graphs. So this is the increasing complexity of the topics. But what I'm trying to explain you is always start from the basic ones, because when you are good with basics, you don't have to remember that again and again. Then you are comfortable with those topics, and then you can focus on the complex topics, right? But if you start with complex topics, what usually happens is you lose interest in the subject, because you think, yeah, I have studied this for 1 month, and again I'm left with no new concept but just a graph, just the basics of graph. And then you will start doubting yourself, because you have covered such a less amount of course with this much time. But what if you have covered 70% of the course? Then that remaining 30% you will again solve with great pace. Why? Because you are highly confident about your pace, that you are completing something, right? So motivation is not something that I'll tell you and you will definitely get it. Motivation is something that your preparation will give you. When you know that yeah, you are good at this subject, you have solved lots of questions in this, then on your own you will be very much motivated to solve the questions that come in gate exam, right? Okay. So types of problems needs to be solved during preparation. Okay. So PYQ throughout this slides refers to previous year gate questions. Okay. Previous year gate questions, test series questions, and there are some extra questions. So I would list down the importance in this manner only. Like first previous year questions, then tests, and then the extra ones. Because why? There is no limit of extra questions. Okay. Again, there is no limit of test question. You will give multiple tests and multiple types of questions will appear. But previous year questions will give you certain sense, like okay, these types of questions are asked, these types of complexity of questions is asked. So you will limit yourself within certain limit. Okay. Like certain range that yeah, these types of questions are asked. So first I'll focus on these types. I'm not asking you to skip the remaining types. What if in your gate exam this particular topic comes which was not asked in previous year gate questions, right? But as you know that we computer science students deal with probability, and probability is something that you can get from previous year questions. Like if this topic is getting asked multiple times, there's a high probability that it will be asked again, rather than being definite that yeah, this will be asked again, right? So there's a difference. So always first focus on the important topics. Now by important I mean that have been asked multiple times in the gate exam. Okay. So this is called important topics. But this doesn't mean that others are not important topics. These are most important topics, other are also important topics. This is how you should think, right? Okay. So now let's understand what extra problems are. So extra problems are apart from previous year questions and apart from test series questions. Okay. So there are various reference books, study materials which are available, and workbooks or social media. So there are certain people which keep posting 5 to 10 questions daily and you can solve them. So these corpus consists of the extra problems. Okay. But what I am trying to explain you is always first focus on previous year questions, because there are some types of questions which doesn't even belong to the course but keep appearing in other platforms, right? So this should not happen. You should be highly focused about what concepts you need to cover. Okay. So always keep a copy of your syllabus in front of you, so that you don't go off the track while solving a particular type of questions. Okay. Then test series help you understand the various ways that particular topic can be asked. So as I mentioned, array is a very simple topic, but test series will help you understand how to solve this type of questions when a limited amount of time is available to you, right? Because given 30 minutes, each and every person can solve a particular question, but test series help you understand how to solve that particular question within a certain time limit. And that's one of the most important part, which is managing your time during the gate exam, and that I'm going to cover in the upcoming slides. So yeah, first focus on previous year questions, then on the test series questions, and then you can, if you are left with time or you still think that yeah, this is something that I should more focus on, then you can refer to some extra questions. Okay. Number of problems to be solved. So again, I've just included this topic in slides from student point of view. I don't believe that there is a certain number of questions that you need to solve, but I do believe that there is some limit of topics that you need to solve. Okay. So you should cover at least 10 to 15 questions, at least 10 to 15 questions from each and every topic. Then you can start preparing again and again for those particular topics, and you can solve more and more problems. But you should at least attempt 10 to 15 from each and every small topic that consists in the gate exam. Okay. So you should always have a particular limit of questions that yeah, this topic can certain types of questions can be asked, and this previous year questions will definitely help you to understand. Okay. So based on weightage, based on important topics per subject, based on weakness in a particular topics, and based on marks in tests. Okay. So the first two topics, as I mentioned that as a topper you should never focus on the word important topic. Okay. Each and every topic is important, so let's skip these 2 points. Now let's come to the third point, based on the weakness in a particular topic. Okay. So how to understand that you are weak in particular topic? On the basis of your performance or on the basis of the questions that you are solving, that even if you have understood that subject, you're not able to attempt those questions. Okay. So that's how you understand that you are weak in this particular topic and you need to attempt more and more questions in this topic. Okay. So always up to a certain threshold, solve each and every topic equally. But once you have understood that, yeah, I am comfortable with these topics, but I'm not comfortable with these topics, then you can focus your attention onto those topics. Okay. Similarly happens with on the basis of the marks in tests. So test will also help you self-analyze yourself. Okay. So you will understand, okay, I've studied this a lot, but again, I'm not able to solve these questions. So I should focus more time solving this. So rather than giving equal time to each and every topic, you should give less time to the ones that you're already good at, but divert your time to the topics that you're not that good at. Okay. So this is the major mistake that students do. They keep solving the questions that they are comfortable with rather than what should they be solving, right? There will always be some topics that you are good at and that you are not good at. So you should always take time from what you are good at and keep investing the time in what you are not good at. Then only each and every topic will be at a particular level for you, and be the that should be the case while attempting the GATE exam. Okay. Okay, strategy to excel in a particular subject. So this strategy is in general, not just for programming and data structures. This is in general that applies to each and every subject. So always have a self-improvement chart. What is a self-improvement chart? Always keep a track of your performance on the basis of marks, on the basis of the rank in the test series, on the basis of the number of problems that you're solving, the time required. This is something that test series will help you. They always keep a track of what was the time required in a particular subject, and continuous revision. So you should keep revising particular topic. And revision, why revision is important? Because practice makes it permanent. Okay. So revision always helps you to get more and more clear in a particular topic. And yeah, so always keep a track of how you are performing in a particular subject by just tracking your marks and each and everything, your rank that you are getting. Okay, so you are lacking behind in this topic, and then you should be focusing on some other topic. Okay. So has it been clear so far? So has it been clear so far, like whatever I have explained? Are you getting it, or it's just a bouncer, like I'm just speaking to myself only? Okay, good. What about others? Are you getting benefited? Okay, great. So yeah, let's continue. Only 2 to 3 slides are left, I think. Then we'll have questions like what should be done for particular cases. Okay. So how to attempt in the actual GATE exam? So I call my strategy as a two-pass strategy. Okay. This is just a name that I've given to my strategy. So my two-pass strategy is start with the ones that you are sure about and the ones that will take less amount of time. Okay. So suppose you are attempting the GATE exam. Okay. So this is how I attempt the GATE exam. So let's first talk about this subject, programming and data structures. Just a minute. Okay. So let's first understand programming and data structures, then we'll talk about in general. So start with the ones that you're sure about and the ones that will take less amount of time. So why I am keeping that less amount of time in that particular sentence is that there are certain types of questions that you are sure that you will be able to solve, but they will take a lot of your time, and that's why you might think that yeah, you have wasted this much time, and then you will panic, and this should not happen. Okay. So for example, if I've asked you to calculate Fibonacci of 15, okay, so this is something that you know that yeah, you will definitely solve. You will solve Fibonacci of 15 equals to 14 plus 13, then 13 equals to this, and you will definitely solve this. But it will take a lot of time. Okay, this is just an example. I'm not scaring you that yeah, you will be asked Fibonacci of 15. No, that doesn't happen. I'm just trying to explain you what do I mean by taking more amount of time. So there are certain questions that you're sure about that you will definitely solve this. This will just need multiple iterations of function calls and you will be able to solve it. But they will consume lot of time, and then you will lose your confidence and you will panic because you have invested lots of time in just solving this particular question. Okay. So always start with the questions in programming and data structures that are very easy and you are comfortable with, so that you can solve maximum amount of questions in the given particular amount of time. Okay. Then focus on the ones that you're sure about but will need more time. Okay, what do I mean by that? Suppose Fibonacci of 15. This you're sure about, that you can definitely solve Fibonacci of 15 by just making certain function calls, but it will require more amount of time. So once you have solved all the small questions and you are confident that yeah, you have covered these many marks in this particular subject, then you can attempt the ones that will surely give you marks but will consume a lot of time as compared to the previous one. Then you should come to the then you should focus on the ones which you are confused about between two options. Okay, so this always happens, like this used to happen with me as well, that yeah, you know that it can be one among these two options out of the four, but you are not sure about which two. So then you might invest some more time and get to a particular conclusion, right? Because now the chances is 50-50 rather than 25%. Initially it was 25% because there were four options, but now you have eliminated two options. It is same as the 50-50 of Kaun Banega Crorepati, right? You know that yeah, your answer lies in these two options only. Then you can just invest some more time during the exam, and then you can finally conclude to a particular option. So just investing this some extra time can give you 2 marks, and maybe a jump of 1,000 ranks, right? That might happen. So that's why I've listed this point as well. Finally, attempt all the non-negative mark problems, because there is no harm in attempting them. But remember, attempt all the non-negative mark problems which you were not able to solve in the first attempt. So start with the ones that you are sure about. This can also consist of the non-negative marks problems. Okay, so no matter what, they are negative or they are non-negative, just start with the ones that you know that you will definitely solve. So no, NET type of questions can also belong to that category. Then come to the remaining ones which you are not sure about, but yeah, giving it a shot will be of no harm. Just write some option that you think can be correct, some answer, not option because there are no options, just some particular number or just particular answer that you think is correct. Okay, cool. And finally, if you're still left with some time, try to spend on the ones that you haven't attempted. So this is very obvious, like there's no point explaining this. So once you know that yeah, I'm not able to solve this, but yeah, let's give one attempt to this. What if a certain thing jumps to my mind that yeah, I can solve it right now? Okay, so now let's come to the two-pass strategy for solving the gate paper. Okay, so again, this was a strategy that I followed. It might not work for you, but you should definitely try to give it a shot. Like you should at least try to attempt the test series with this strategy. And if it still doesn't work, then you can form a strategy of your own. Okay, so first of all, what is the logic behind this strategy? The logic behind this strategy is that sometimes it happens that in the first attempt you are not able to solve a particular question, but when you revisit that question, you you have that certain state of mind that yeah, now you can definitely solve this question, and you will end up solving that question. So believe it or not, this has happened to me a lot of time during my preparation and during the actual gate exam as well. At first attempt I was not able to solve that question, so I just skipped it, I moved on to the next one. But when I solved the remaining questions, so I was like mentally free that yeah, I have attempted a lot of questions. Then when I came to that particular same question, I was able to solve. Why? Because gate exam is not just about knowing a particular thing, but about your mindset as well. If you are in panic mode, you will make mistake in the subject that you are comfortable with. And if you have solved that previously, then again you can make a mistake in that because your mind is in panic mode. But when you're calm, when you are in a positive attitude, you will definitely be able to solve something that you think you will not solve. Okay, and this, believe me, always happens. Not right now, but in some time you will definitely means definitely understand this. When you will attempt when you will attempt test series, you will see yeah, this was a question that I know but I was not able to attempt in the exam. Why? Because of the time management and because of the exam pressure. If I would have given you as an MCQ test, you will definitely solve this. But when that same question appears in the gate exam, you are not able to solve this. Why? Because you are always worried about, oh, these many questions are remaining, this much time is left. What will I do? What should I do right now? And this is called a panic mode. And believe me, people don't get benefited from the panic mode. They always get benefited from the positive mindset and from the confident attitude. Okay, and that's what this two-pass strategy is all about. So in pass one, take the complete gate paper like it is on computer screen. So just consider each and every question and solve all the questions that you are sure about and are doable in less time, same as the one that we have that I've explained here. This builds up confidence and positive mindset, which are, believe me or not, some of the most important ingredients. Why? Because I have told you, your mindset defines whether you will be able to solve this question at a particular instance or not. If you are in panic mode, you will not solve it. But if you're in calm state, you can solve that now. Okay, and this is what happens. And mark the ones that are doable but will take more amount of time. So as I've explained, recursion based questions are one of the ways when it comes to programming and data structures, that you know that yeah, you will solve this but it will take time. So just mark it in circle or anything. So if you are on a computer screen, there's an option to mark it for later reference, right? Something like that. So mark it for review. There's an option for mark it for review. Just mark it for review, so that you know that this particular question is something that I can solve if I give more time to, right? And never leave these questions unsolved, because you can solve this provided you are left with time. Okay, now this is about pass one. So what I mean by pass one, that go from the starting to the end of the paper is a pass one. I'm not talking about pass one means 50% of the paper, part two means pass two means 50%. No, pass one means 100% paper, pass two again means 100% paper, but with a different mindset. Now pass one was about focusing on the quantity of the questions that you are solving. Okay, so once you have gone through each and every paper, now you know that yeah, your question revolves around these topics only. Now you can just forget each and everything that was consuming your mind. Now you know that yeah, these are the subjects that I can solve, these are the subjects that I won't be investing my time in, and so on. Then start with the past two from the start, with the ones that you have marked for review. Start from the beginning and solve the doable that take more time. So as I mentioned, the previous pass you just mark them for reference, but now you will again start from the beginning and will give them time to get those marks. Okay. Then solve the non-negative marking questions, as I've explained it before only, that there's no harm attempting the non-negative marking questions, because believe it or not, even in the NET type of questions, you will be confused between two answers. Like by this approach, it is you are getting two, by this approach. So there are 50-50% chance. So why not at least attempt it? Because losing your marks. But what if your answer was correct? Right? So there's no point missing those questions. And finally, if you're left with time, selectively pick up some questions that have high probability of getting solved among the remaining ones. Okay. Okay, so by this, just a minute. Yeah, so by this strategy will help you to grab the maximum of your GATE exam paper. And this is something paper in one go. What's the problem with that? I'll explain you. Suppose there are very easy problems at the end. There are 5 problems which consume 15 minutes, or let's say 5 questions that will consume 10 minutes, like 2 minutes per question. They are at the end. But what if are wasting a lot of time at the beginning only, right? Then no matter what, those questions are also giving you 2 marks, these questions are also giving you 2 marks, but you have wasted all of your time in this and you have left those questions as it is. So here you are investing 5 minutes in a question, but there is a question sitting for you which will only take 2 minutes, and you can definitely solve this. So this should not happen, and believe me, it or not, this has happened to me and lots of my friends, and this is the major difference. Okay, so yeah, this is all I can tell you about this strategy. If you have any problems, we can just talk about it. So remember, solving more questions doesn't mean getting more marks, but solving questions correctly does. So this is the important thing that you should build in your mind. If someone is attempting, there are 65 questions, I believe. So if someone is attempting 60 questions, it doesn't mean that he will get more marks than a person attempting 50 questions. Why? Because attempting 50 questions with 100% accuracy or 95% accuracy can give you more marks when you are attempting 60 questions with just 70% accuracy, right? So accuracy plays a very important role, and that's what you can learn from the example that I've given you at the beginning, that I've lost 1.33 marks with just one question. Why? Because of accuracy. If I would have attempted correctly, I would have got 1.33 marks extra. right? And this is just because of the accuracy. And this is the topper's attitude: to win the game, just remain in the game. So what do I mean by that? There will be lots of time that you will think that, yeah, this is not doable, I'm not made for this exam, I'll never get a good rank. Each and every one of us, not just me, not just all India rank 50, not just all India rank 30, even all India rank 2 or 3, they also get the same types of self doubts that, yeah, I might not be able to solve this question in the exam, I'm not good at this particular subject. But at the end, each and everything should be left on the day of the exam. You should not worry about it from right now. All you should be focusing on right now is to get the maximum out of your efforts, like just to get the maximum benefit out of a particular subject, just to get more and more accurate in that. Rest of the things will be getting decided on the day of the exam, and that you should not worry about. Okay. Yeah, with this, thank you and all the very best for your exams. And yeah, I believe that this was really very very helpful for you, and you can post certain queries if you have in the chat section, that I'll definitely be glad to solve. So we are left with just 5.5 minutes. So yeah, let's utilize that accordingly. So first of all, was this session helpful to you? Like, did it give you more perspective than you came up with? Okay, that's great. So can some of you mention the takeaways, like the major takeaways that this session helped you with? So believe it or not, I can definitely tell that you always used to think that, yeah, some topics are skippable, some are not that important topic. But if there is one thing that you should take from my session is, if you are aiming for a great rank, each and every topic should be made equally important, and you should spend time on. Take away time from other activities or from the topics that you are good with, and invest them in the topics that you are not good with, right? And then you will definitely get a very good rank if you focus on this strategy. Any other queries or any other takeaways that you would like to mention? Yeah, so you should definitely focus on one material, that is Vidyalankar notes. Why? Because what if you focus on 10 different materials? Okay, what will happen is you will spend a lot of time, but your knowledge, it will not increase much. Why? Because the concepts are very limited, but it is about solving most of the questions. So always refer to your own notes or the coaching notes, and then you should just use other materials for some selective purpose. Then only you can take the maximum benefit out of it. Otherwise what you will do is you will just keep learning those 10 topics from this book, then from this book, then from these notes, and then your entire time will be going wasted in this only, rather than covering the remaining topics. Okay, just a minute. Yeah. So accuracy two pass strategy. Okay, so this is your takeaway, right? I'm glad that you focused on this part, and I hope that it will definitely benefit you. Most of the time when I'm doing some topic, I am good at it, but after some topic, I do not have that grip in topic. Yeah. So this is the stage. So you are not alone. Let me tell you, each and every person who prepares for any exam, not just GATE exam, has faced this. So why this happens? Because your memory is about consuming the topics that you have learned, means least, what I can say, recently. Okay, so least recently used kind of a strategy means the topics that are of least recently used, they will be getting vanished. So this is the important role played by revision. Okay, so revision is something that you should do, which will help you keep a track of all those knowledge and all those whatever concepts you have learned. So for example, this is what I believe: if you have spent around if you spent around 1 month studying a particular subject, then when you will revise it again, it might get broken down into just 10 days. Then again, if you revise it, it will be getting broken down into just 3 days. And finally, for the gate exam, you will be able to revise it in just 1 day or within just hours. Why this happens? Because you have gone through it multiple times. So now there's no need for you to remember a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square, right? Now you know that. Now there's no need for you to again write it 10 times. So this is the work that you should do before. Then only revision should be done, like just attempting it again and again, and after some time just revise it after a long, means after some gap. Okay, so this is what you should do. Always this will always happen when you are focusing on some subject, the other subject will vanish from your mind. So that is what I'm trying to tell you. First focus on one thing, but keep revising the remaining part of it as well. Okay, so then you will definitely getting overcome this problem. So many topics which one should revise first, I'm getting confused. Yeah, so means this is what the planning comes into action, right? So there are certain topics like programming and data structures. If you have once understood it, once you have understood how to like the functionalities of a stack, the functionalities of a queue, I know that you will never you will never feel the need to revise it again and again. Okay, and this will come with consistent efforts. Okay, so this is not just for you, right? It's not just that you are getting so many subjects and remaining people are getting less subjects than you. No, each and everyone has the same amount of syllabus, and each and every one will have to give those many efforts. Okay, so you cannot change the syllabus, but you can definitely put in more efforts and more time. So just utilize your time efficiently. Just make a particular strategy that, yeah, I'll not solve recursion based problems again and again, because I know that I'll just make a decision tree and I'll be able to solve it. So don't revise it again and again. Just invest that time in some other subject, right? Which will require most of the revision. So this is just an example for you to understand. I hope that you have got the answer for your question. Okay, great. Yeah, sure, no problem. Just perform well and help yourself. Like that would be the best thing that you can reward yourself with a great rank. And believe me, like strategy, like as I mentioned, I totally believe in that quote. Like planning, failing to plan is planning to fail. Why? Because there are lots of smart people who are not good at planning, and that's why they face these problems of revision and each and everything. Why? Because they don't know if they have studied this subject when they should be revising it. But when you have made a particular strategy in mind, that yeah, if I'm studying this for a particular day, then I'll revise it after a week, and then I'll revise it after 2 weeks, and so on. So then you will be confident about, yeah, there is some plan and I'll just follow it. Okay, so this is what I used to do. I used to make a plan of each and every day. Means first I used to make a plan of each and every month. Then to achieve that month goal, I used to make it into 4 weeks. Then to achieve those each of the week, I used to prepare it day wise. So this is what you should do as well. According to you, around which month should entire syllabus be completed with 1-2 revision cycle? Okay, this is again very subjective question. Means some people just cover it within 4 months and some people cover it within a year. So I don't think that I would be a better person to answer this. But what I'll tell you is, don't wait to think. Means never think that there will be a certain time that you will be comfortable with this topic. Okay, this should go hand in hand. Suppose if I give you 1 year to study data structures and programming and data structures, even that 1 year you will feel that it is very less. Why? Because there is no end to these topics, right? So what you should do is, you should just build your own confidence that, yeah, I have covered this much concept, then I will be able to revise it. I'll not focus on the negative aspects, that yeah, this should also be, this is also remaining, that is also remaining. Just focus on some topics and keep revising them in continuous manner, rather than waiting for a day when your entire syllabus will be completed. Okay, so this is a continuous thing, that when your particular subject you are done with, then with the subject that you are learning as of now, just revise the previously done subject, and so on. So this is the cycle that I'm talking about. I hope that you will be able to follow this, and it will be of benefit to you. Thanks. Yeah, sure. how much time you used to give for practicing. Okay. Not to demotivate you guys, don't think that you are not giving that much time, so you are left behind. But means, as I mentioned that I used to prepare, means I used to manage the college placements activities as well as each and everything. So I used to give like around 10 to 12 hours a day to the studies. So that's what I used to do. Means I was laser focused at it, and my aim was just to get into IIT Bombay, no other college. So I knew that this is the effort that it requires, and if I need to get this reward, I need to put in those much efforts. So I never used to compromise with my efforts, and that's why I think that I am able to tell you all those strategies. Okay. So 10 to 12 hours I used to give in the last to 6 months. Not on the daily basis, obviously. I'm not a robot, I am also human activities. Okay. So this used to be my mindset, that at least 8 6 hours when you are facing college activities or college exams, but never leave behind any studies for something else. At least hours of study for that particular day. Okay, always this should happen. I hope that I've answered your question. So this again differs from person to person. I'm not asking you to study that much. Whatever, you should be confident about it. If you're giving 6 to 7 hours, be so much focused that you take the major benefit out of it. Okay. So I was not that good at studies, right? I used to give lots of effort. Then I used to then I used to understand it. So that's why I used to get lots of efforts, and now I can do that quickly. Okay. That's it. So I hope that this session very much helpful to you. All the very best, and I wish you that you get whatever college or whatever rank you are looking for, and with making a proper strategy, I believe that each and everyone crack the gate exam with a two digit rank. So just to win the game, just remain in the game, right? You will definitely get what you're looking for. Okay, all the very best.
Hey guys, hope you have found this session very helpful. To get access to more such content, do subscribe to my YouTube channel where I keep discussing such topics. Also, you may download the Vidyalankar app where I'll be taking such live sessions in near future. And if you have any queries pertaining to such topics or any guidance related topics in general, do mention it in the chat section where I would be ready to help you out. Thank you.